Guys, remember, insight is always a good thing, okay? We always want to look at insight.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
DeAndre Jordan had some things to say about Chris Paul. So big shout out to Spurs reporter for actually posting this. I don't know when this actually went down, this particular thing, but we're gonna listen to it because I want to see what DeAndre Jordan has to say about working with Chris Paul, so we know what to expect, right? Because we've seen Chris Paul, we competed against Chris Paul, we've fought about Chris Paul. You know, we hated Chris Paul for years, but we never actually had him on our team. So it'd be nice to hear a little bit of insight of what type of player, what type of teammate the Spurs are getting. Now, before we take a look at that, please guys, Spurs Invasion, please go subscribe to my second channel, link below in my description. I'm sorry I have to bring this up so many times. I'm sorry. But there's so many people that watch this video, watch my videos, and don't do it. So at least just go check it out. Link in the description. Head on over to that channel, scripted, edited content pertaining to the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, it's called Spurs Invasion, right? All right, let's listen. DeAndre Jordan, break it down.
Man, people can say what they want about CP. I think that CP is, you want to have CP on your team. Mm-hmm. You know, because like
Are these real images they're using? They are so pixelated. Maybe it's just it might just be the video.
Is gonna fight until the buzzer goes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that when you got a dog like that on your team, it's great to be around because he's gonna motivate you to be the best player you can be. He's gonna challenge you, which some guys don't like to be challenged. You know what I mean? Like, let's get that out there in the open. Some guys don't like that. Mm-hmm. But Chris is a guy that's like, no, like, I need you to be better so we can be better as a team. And he wants to be held accountable. And I think that's important to have, especially from your point guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, their voices, it has to carry. Man,
I wonder, and man, Chris Paul gave many of lobs to DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin. That was very frustrating. I wonder though, I don't know if Tony Parker was the same way. Like, Tony Parker was a phenomenal player, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Tim Duncan was more so that type of role. Maybe Manu. Maybe I'm just displaying my ignorance there, but I'm not sure if Tony Parker was a leader, but I don't know if he was that type of leader that's like really going to get into your stuff. I'm not sure if that was the case. But regardless, you know, all those things aside, I think one thing that he said is, you know, a lot of guys don't like that, but from my experience with the Spurs, the only player that I could see that could get a little down on themselves or frustrated with Chris Paul would be Malachi. You know, if Malachi's still with the Spurs. I mean, by the time I'm posting this, he is with the Spurs. Or by the time I'm recording this, he's with the Spurs right now. So I don't know when this video be posted, but just overall, I mean, that's the only player that I can think of that might be not like I'm going to argue with you or get really angry, but he really does get down on himself. So I can see him, you know, getting in his head just a little bit. Maybe I could be wrong. But other guys on the team, Blake Wesley, he could take it. We know Sohan could take it. Devin Vassell, he seems like he's pretty great with criticism. Even though Popovich, you know, he knows how to talk to players. He know who you can really heat up and who you can't. I don't see him go at Devin Vassell that often because he knows. But same thing with everybody though. But that's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing him get on, and we're going to see it. And by the way, we're going to see it in game. Like, there's no way this is all going to be behind. No, you're going to see it in game. He's going to get frustrated. He's going to get on the guys because the Spurs have made so many like mistakes last season. So obviously, you know, you add in a veteran. You know, one season might not be enough for you to fix all of those small intricate details on the court. So obviously he's going to get onto some people on some things, but that's good. You know, it's not like Popovich doesn't. And Chris Paul, he has enough years under his belt, enough of a legacy as a player. I mean, I think he's third. Let me make sure. I think he's third in assists. Most assists in NBA history. I think he's third. Here we go. Yeah, he's third. Wow. Magic Johnson is 7th. That's still a lot though. 10,000 is a lot. Yeah. So Chris Paul is 3rd. So yeah, he's a legend. You know, guys know that, and I would not be surprised by any means if they just take it. But we have Spurs players. They typically aren't wild or crazy when it comes to those types of things. Also, just out of curiosity, let's see. I'm about to pass on his body. John Stockton. Let's see. Jason Kidd 2. Guys, Stockton is so far. Is anyone gonna catch John Stockton? Because that's kind of wild. Also, as much hate Russell Westbrook gets, I did not know he was top 10 in assists. Huh. Nice. I like it. Anyways, sorry, I got a little distracted, but that was some pretty good insight for real. I'm happy that we're getting such a tough nose player. Well, we know this. We all hate Chris Paul, or we hated Chris Paul, but at the end of the day, we also would love for him to be on our team, right? I think that's been the sentiment for Spurs fans forever, right? So anyways, I give it to you guys later. Spurs Invasion in description, okay? Remember what we talked about. Go subscribe to that. Remember what we talked about. All right, I'll give it to you guys later. Till next time. Bye.